comes up quick.
What's up, TRC fans? Don't miss our new event, King of the Open Road. Join the TRC team for an epic drag and drive experience you'll never forget. Coder features a scenic cruise, drag racing, and a car show. We'll see you soon out on the open road. What's up, guys? Javier from That Racing Channel. Welcome back to another one. We have a super special episode for you today. Today we're in Oklahoma visiting our buddy J-Rod. We're here at Shawn's, aka Murder Nova's new shop. We're going to check out what he's up to. Jared was recently on the show Street Outlaws, so we're going to catch up with the guys, talk about the show, get into some of the new builds that Shawn has going on.
Hey guys, it's J-Rod right here at 187 Customs today, shooting a little TRC feature with Shawn Ellington, aka Murder Nova. We're going to give you guys a shop tour. We're going to be talking about the new Street Outlaw show that's currently airing that I took a team and had a little bit of a hand in. We're going to talk about his No Prep King Murder Nova, his small tire Murder Nova, and what he plans to do out in Australia, which he's going to be leaving in like 10 days. Plus, I brought my 99 Lightning, and we're going to be racing his Typhoon. You guys don't want to miss this episode. Be sure to go subscribe to 187 Customs. So obviously we're out here at the new shop. It's an 80 by 100.
Yes.
It's really badass. It makes the other one look really small.
Yeah, well, that was the plan.
Yeah.
You know, and I still don't think, you know, as a car guy, I don't think anybody can ever say this is going to be enough.
Yeah.
You know, we're already talking about building another one.
Right.
You know, just to house the cars and then don't do anything but work in this shop and then house everything in the other one.
Here on the same property?
Yeah.
So last time we seen this car when we did a video out here, had a motor, it was running, driving. Obviously you guys are getting ready for the new No Prep King season that starts in June.
Yes.
And then before that, you guys are gonna be headed to Australia with the OG car on small tires.
Yeah, hey, look, when you mention the OG, my face lights up anyways.
Right. Oh,
you
yeah.
know, it's, without this car hearing it, I feel like it knows already. OG's always my first love, you know, so, and it's always gonna be my favorite. It's rolling right now. We're doing pretty well with it. It is on a small tire, but ever since we swapped over to the Hemi with the Pro Charger, man, it's been amazing.
So small tire to us is a 28-10-5. Some places in the country it's a 29 whatever. So it's on a 28-10-5?
It is.
Okay.
I said small tire.
Yeah, yeah. I know, I'm saying with you.
Yeah, you know, hey, that's one of the big battles. That's as bad as asking somebody what a real street car is. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because, you know.
I've read 100 of those comments this week.
Oh yeah. You could read 100 of them this morning. You know, it is what it is. But yes, it's on a 28-10-5. That's what we've been trying to not really beat into people's heads, you know. That's what us in Oklahoma consider a small tire.
Small tire, yeah. And so this car coming up in the new season, any new combo changes?
Well, we got to do something. I'm going to be honest with you, man. It was brutal losing the last 2 seasons of NPK. Even though we've said it before, we're just dumbass street racers that came from not a non-track, you know, and so trying to pick that up and learn and jump right in the middle and be competitive with all these guys is tough, man. Like, I don't care who you are. This car's fast. It's made some good laps, and we haven't done shit.
Right.
You know.
Have they released the rules for the new season yet?
They have not. 2 weeks. That's yeah, everything is 2 weeks. Everything's 2 weeks. It's even a joke. I'll text Sam back and go, "Hey, 2 weeks, right?" You know, and he's like, "Yes, 2 weeks." You know, and it doesn't matter. So.
So the combo on this, if I remember right, it was twin precisions with a small block, Pro Line built, Rossler trans, Fuel Tech, all the good stuff. Yep. So we were talking a little bit before we started rolling. Now it's going to get a Pro Line Hemi. Correct?
It will. It will. We have We've already ordered the motor.
Okay.
They're building it, same combination Ryan has.
Okay.
That's never a
proven,
bad
right?
idea.
Yeah.
Obviously it's proven. So what we're gonna do, and even a step better than that, is he has the new motor in his car and he's gonna test it, and then whatever works the best is what's going in this one.
So between Ryan's car and this car, obviously weight plays into factor when you're racing at that, or any level. So is this car heavier or lighter than the Fireball?
This car's actually lighter than the Fireball. You know, even the gray car, it's lighter than both of them. But we're gonna have to add weight anyways to go to that Hemi Pro Charged. We could be 2,600 with the turbos, even the 98 turbos and the small block.
So they throw weight on you.
They're gonna throw weight on us. Yes. Any combination that Ryan has,
They throw weight.
They're gonna
So
throw
I was
weight
reading online, No Prep King stuff. A lot of guys are talking about the screw blower combos. So is that? Are any of the guys moving to the big screw blowers that are competitive?
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as I can tell, a few people are. I think Kai is.
Kai has. There's rumor that Lizzie did. I mean, that's merely a rumor, but
Yeah.
that's
I've heard both though. Because I heard that Pat was still going to help her this season. They're just going to kind of at
Split
some
ways,
point.
yeah.
At some point, yeah. You know.
So if they come out with new rules and they throw weight on those combos, do you
They
think?
need to, man. They don't just need to throw weight. Look, Jim Howe and those guys, they ruined it for themselves. They
they're
went up
fast.
there to where you guys
Yeah,
were,
World Cup
and
finals.
went up there and ran 2:04.
Yeah.
So if you can run, hang on.
the era-
This still really bothers me, because I've always been the guy that says, "Oh yeah, no, you're gonna out 60-foot me, but I'm gonna come around you on the big end." Well, he's going 930 to the 60-foot. And still 204 out the back.
Yeah.
I'm not messing with either one of those.
That's fast.
We're running 201.
Yeah, it's fast.
Tops 202.
But you've raced in Maryland. The air out there is phenomenal. It's probably some of the best DA in the country. I mean, I don't know if he runs 204.
But he didn't burn it up running that.
No.
You know, so it wasn't on the ragged edge yet.
And speaking of that, that was neat to see him and Odom and Lutz come out there and go toe-to-toe with some of the big 2JZ cars. You know, I think they all kind of were shocked a little bit when some of those 2JZ cars were going 250, 260 out the
Man,
back.
I don't know. How can you still be shocked? This day and age, how can you be shocked on that? Like, look, man, you brought that Honda out. You brought your car out. I'm not shocked anymore on what those cars can do. At some point, people, people who are I buy American, you know what I mean?
Oh,
those
my God.
people who don't understand what those motors will do, then yeah, they're probably still shocked.
Well, it's
But
not even the motors. Like, how light are those cars?
Oh, they're-
1,900 pounds?
Yeah, 2,100,
And
yeah.
then, like, 2,500, 3,000 horsepower.
exactly,
So,
more than what we can use
At
on
11,
the street, you know?
12,000 RPM.
Yes.
You know, the rotary versions of those cars, they blow up a lot. It's a rotary. They're fast. They're whatever. Yeah, it is what it is. They're fast.
Yep.
The 2JZ cars stay together a little longer,
Yeah.
but they're a wearable part. You're revving those cars so high, and they're fast. Anyway, it was just the fans loved it up there.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Well, one
it's
of these
just
days
crazy.
we'll go.
Yeah,
Like,
it's-
we just,
quarter mile is pretty intriguing.
oh yeah, I'd love to run quarter mile.
You know, that's what Lutz said. I seen him up there, and he drew a car they call El Jerry, which is a very well-known 2J car.
I've seen it.
And I told Lutz, I was like, yeah, you're going to get him to the 8th, but he's going to be coming. And sure enough,
yeah.
and I think that was the pass, his parachutes ripped the off the car. And because he had them like with some real small bar, and he wasn't used to going that fast.
He said, man, I never even looked at them. Oh, that's what he told me. They were on the car whenever he got it. Said he never even looked at them. I said, damn.
And just ripped them the off.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty neat stuff to see where No Prep Kings is. You guys are going into season 6?
Yes, season 3 for us,
Season-
right? Yeah. So we're still not good at it yet, you know, and there's no shame in our game. Like whenever we blow something up, we go, look at this, man. We did this. This is what we did. This was our fault.
Us, we did.
Yeah, we did this. See this pile of parts that I have a lot of money in?
Right.
I did this.
So
you know?
as tight as you and Ryan are, do you guys ever like share secrets, tuning strategies, all that good stuff?
Yeah, well, it doesn't really help me whenever I'm a small block.
Right.
You know, but we did just go do that mega cash days out in California on the small tires. And our combinations were the same. So I made a pass, he took my data. I made his pass, I took his data. And man, it worked out.
worked out well.
It was amazing. So
Obviously that has an error, but you guys both did well in that.
yes.
Good.
Yes. I did. The OG just does well, especially racing other people. We got so caught up for so many years racing each other that I may have been struggling to stay on the list at number 10 every once in a while, especially once we brought the OG back. But I still won all my out of town races. I have an amazing record of racing people that are non-405 guys.
When did you get the OG car? Like, I was thinking about that. Me and Javi were talking about the other day. I want to say, like, when I moved to Oklahoma City in like 06, 07, that was about the time you had it, right?
That's about the time I got it.
Yeah, because I remember like the first street race from Midwest Street Cars that I ever went to, you had that car. That would have been like 2007-ish.
Yep.
And that was still when it had like the blower.
The roots on it?
The roots
Yeah.
blower on it, yeah. So that car has been through so many different changes, and it's kind of neat to see where it's transitioned in today. Did you ever think it'd be on a boat headed to Australia?
No, I'm still upset about that.
His bank account.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, no, it's we're still pretty terrified to get over there and see what it looks like. We did everything that we could do, you know, but they are not sealed containers.
So moisture is going to get in there. And
Oh, yeah.
Did you like plug the holes up in the motor and the turbos and stuff like that?
Well,
or?
it's in the Pro Charger, yes.
Pro Charger.
It's all wrapped up with cellophane. He wrapped everything up as good as he could. We took, you know, WD-40-ish stuff and sprayed all over everything, the whole chassis on the car. So when we get there, we got a lot of wiping down to do.
Cleaning
and hopefully, you know, the electronics still work and all that.
Anyway,
I've heard nightmares.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, I can
so.
only imagine. You know, especially like shipping containers falling off boats and shit.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
happens if that happens? You
And they
can't
tried to
insure
say,
that
well,
car.
no, we have, no, they did for $300,000. I said, come on, get out of here. I'm not loading it up for that.
Yeah.
Like, I would not sell this car for $500,000.
Yeah.
I don't care if you could build 3 of them for that, well, which you couldn't, but, you know, I don't care. This is what it means to me, you know, and I believe that Farm Truck's price was even more than that for the original Farm Truck, which I don't blame him.
Yeah.
It's irreplaceable.
It's iconic.
Yep.
It's iconic.
It's irreplaceable.
So speaking of that, so it's Farm Truck and Asian's going, Ryan's going, you're going, Lutz is going. From the 405.
That's it.
From the 405, that's it.
Yep.
Because Dave and Chuck, they didn't go.
Well,
Dominator.
Chuck just had surgery
on
his shoulder. You know, those guys are old, man. They're getting their bodies and stuff replaced. Dave, I really wanted Dave to go. When we go out of town, Dave's a killer.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Dave's always good to have around. It doesn't matter what car he's in, you cannot count him out. Look what he has done with that little S10 of his on the street.
He wrecks. I mean,
Literally,
he drives that truck all the time.
Literally, yeah, oh yeah. He drives that thing arguably more than anybody
100%.
from our show, anyways.
100%. I've seen him run around Edmond in that truck.
Oh yeah, yeah. And it's a knife at a gunfight, and he still wins with it.
a lot.
You know what I mean? So you can never count Dave out. He's always been competitive, and he always will be. So it really sucks not being able to take him over there with us, but. You know, I mean, everybody's like, why is Shawn going? He sucks. Hey, no, you're not wrong. You know what I mean? Like, I get it, but what are we doing over there?
Right.
All the people who are saying, why didn't you bring the fast people? You just taking Shawn over there, you know? Well, hey, how do you know I'm not?
Right.
Like, we're on small tires. So
Absolutely.
we'll just have to see what happens.
And you guys are going to be over there for 6 weeks?
5 weeks.
5 weeks.
And we are racing the Australians. We're not going to race each other.
Right.
So I don't have to worry about outrunning Ryan.
Correct.
I have to worry about
You're
outrunning.
racing as a team, essentially,
Yes.
as a No Prep Kings team.
Yes.
So Kai, Lizzie, everybody will be on an umbrella, and you guys will be racing the Australians.
Yes, and I don't even know what Lizzie took. Like that little white car of
for
hers,
sure,
right?
little white
She
car.
took a street car, something that is comparable to this.
May work.
So, you know, we're going to have to do it the same way that we did the 405 show. We're going to have to be strategic on who we race.
Yep.
You
Because
know?
I'm sure I've seen some of the videos of guys making call-outs. They're not like cars this caliber. Some of them are,
Yeah.
but some are more cars that are that caliber.
Some of them are, yes.
Yeah.
And I would imagine, like everybody's like, oh, well, they're 3/10 slower than we are. Well, you know, that don't really mean anything.
No.
They're 3/10 slower than some of the fastest guys in the world.
Correct.
You know, not us.
Right.
You
And
know,
what's the
so-
elevation of these tracks? Have you even looked at that?
I think Big Country had looked, and I watched something that he was talking about, and man, it's not much different than what we race here.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah. Air's still the same in Australia.
Air is still the same in Australia. It is going to be very, very hot though.
Oh.
They said 110 plus every day that we're over.
Are you guys, because I heard some, I don't know, maybe it's you, or someone was telling me some of the tracks are like 40 hours apart or some shit.
The first one is in Perth, and it's on the other side. And I saw a map the other day of Australia laid over the United States, and it almost covers the whole thing.
Yeah,
it's like going
there's-
from
Like going from
California to
Maine to
Miami.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
they're,
or Maine.
the interstate systems probably isn't quite as strategic as the
Well,
United States because
and
they have
not to
so
mention,
much bush.
We can. they like the bush.
Bush.
So we can't even take trucks over there. Their trucks are narrower than ours, and basically, because the highways are narrower. So basically, you cannot drive your truck and trailer yourself over there.
So you have to have drivers everywhere you go.
Yes, everywhere we go. So what they're going to do is the container that we loaded the OG on, that's my container until it gets back to the United States.
So they're going to take the container, put it on a little truck, and it's going to be your
and that truck is
trailer,
going to meet us at the track, unload it, put the container on the ground, and they'll put some ramps down. And then it will go. It will go back in that trailer every night, and that's my trailer for the whole time that we're over there.
So that's awesome. So obviously this car is going to fly this season. You know, your dad did a really good job painting it.
He did. He just got it painted a couple of weeks ago. We're waiting right now. We will put the XPEL wrap on it, and then call it good, and then go beat it up like we do every other season.
Yep. Let's go talk about the 55. That's the car that interests me a lot. Because this car has a lot of history. I mean, we talked about it last time. You've had this car since 2008 or 9.
I've had this car just as long as I've had the OG.
Okay, so same time, yeah. You raced the Oklahoma Troops in 5 stuff in it. And then obviously the very first King of the Open Road, which now those deals, we're taking them nationwide, but your dad raced this and unfortunately had the accident in it.
Yep.
And to see this car came to where it is now.
Exactly.
Holy crap.
Exactly. You know how it is, man. Whenever things like that happens, you always build back better.
Yeah.
You know, like right now, this car's nicer than it's ever been.
Nailed it.
Almost.
That's badass.
Almost 17.
And of course, over the winter, you know, I lost a few races on the 405 show this year, one being to you.
Yeah.
And man, we felt like we made pretty good power with the ProCharger. The problem we had all season was fighting the converter. So then later on in the season, we started spraying it, and I bet we were making close to 1,500 whenever we were spraying it. You know,
were you spraying it when we raced?
I don't think so.
After that
race,
loss, or not the first loss, but that was the one that.
After that race, we started foot braking it though, because you got car on me out of the hole.
I mean, I caught a good light, and the car.
You
was
caught
gone.
a good light, and then mine was
delayed.
We start looking at the data and stuff after that. I was like, because somebody was like, "Man, was you sleeping?" And I was like, "No, I wasn't. I usually cut pretty good lights."
Right.
And we started looking at the data, and it was between 1/10 and 2/10 from whenever I let go of the button before the car started to move.
That's a lot.
You know,
You can't give anybody
Giving somebody the hit.
Yeah.
Which, look, I wasn't catching you anyway, so I kept telling Phantom, we have to have more mile an hour. So even if I don't spray it out of the hole, we got to start spraying it on the big end, you know? And after that, we started doing better.
That was a fun season to be a part of.
Dude, hey, look, you live and you learn, and you know, we made some changes. We don't even know if the show's going to get picked back up. I would assume ratings are good.
Yep.
You know, which, like I've said in the past, everything is relative.
Sure.
Ratings are better than normal.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
and it's going good.
Yeah, going back to the street car stuff, it's just fun because it's more, in my opinion, relatable to your average car enthusiast. Your average car enthusiast can go buy a car like this. Obviously, you know, it's a couple $100,000 ordeal to build a car if you pay someone to do it at this level. But if the guy that's building this car in his garage can do it for much less and have a car that he feels he can go out and compete, he can have an opportunity to race on the show, to chase those guys, to be. To me, it's just better. It's all the way around.
And you don't even have to spend that much money on them. I've seen a lot of people go, "Oh, I thought you guys were going to relate to the Joe Public." What are you talking about? The cars that we raced were Joe Public.
Kamikaze's car.
Dude, look at everybody's. Like, look at the McKee's cars that they brought out.
Oh, absolutely.
Every one of those was as nice, if not nicer, than what my 55 was.
And they drive the shit out of those cars.
Yes.
They go to Cruising Oklahoma stuff all the time. And
so, you know, and every crew that came in to race us had special cars.
Yep.
You know, we got, there was a couple of, weeding the people out was tough because I could open up my email right now and I'd have 500 emails today,
I can imagine.
you know, of people wanting to race. Well, you got to weed through all those people. And what we look for is cool cars that set
There aren't Fox bodies.
like us. There you go. There was 1 or 2 teams that had all Mustangs, SN95, Fox bodies, you know, all of them. And we were,
Yep. I mean, I don't
who
know.
wants to see a bunch of Fox bodies run down the road?
Are they
Fox
fast?
bodies?
Yes.
Are they fast? Absolutely they are.
Goodness
Chuck's car
gracious.
fast? Of course it
Absolutely.
was, you know?
There's just so damn many of them. And I don't know. I've said that on camera on my videos and whatever, but you go to like Texas 2K or all these big street car races, there's 55 Mustangs and there's 10 other cars.
Yep.
I get it. They're cheap to build, they're fast, and they work.
And they work. And the other cars that were not Mustangs were probably a couple of S10s.
Yeah. And a couple and some F bodies.
Hey, and some F bodies.
Yeah.
And I am a fan of, I'm sure a fan of S10s, but it is what it is, you know what I mean? Even after I built my Nova, I was like, God dang, there's a lot of Nova race cars.
The
You know
world
what I
would be
mean?
a boring place if everybody liked the same stuff.
Yep.
Back to my team, like obviously we brought some imports, we brought some different things. The McLaren, I thought that was a badass race because like you have the space age car and then you have, you know, Dominator.
For sure.
To me, like Dominator's truck was like one of the neatest cars out there. It was so simple.
Yeah.
And it was just raw Americana race truck. Like it was just super neat. And to see those two race. And then like the Civic and the Integra, I mean, I don't know. It was just neat. And obviously those Honda-based cars did really well.
Oh yeah, for sure. For
You know,
sure.
little four bangers. And
The variety is what made this season good, in my opinion. Like we talked about, man, nobody wants to go and watch the same cars. Nobody wants to watch pro stock racing.
Nope.
Sorry, guys.
honestly, it'll take a season or two for fans to realize that Street Outlaws isn't, well, the 405 show isn't cars like the Murder Nova. You know, they're going to see it online, they're going to see it on YouTube videos, they're going to say, hey, did you see they're racing real cars? So, like, I think if the show gets bought and season 2 happens, I think season 2 is going to be even bigger than season 1.
I don't see how it could.
Here's the deal, you know, everyone has seen these cars or the OG Murder Nova in person.
Mm-hmm.
They know what they are. They know how fast they are. They've never really seen this car in person. Once these cars get out in public and they see that Shawn drives this thing around Oklahoma City or he drives it down Route 66, and it's really a relatable time, ET-wise, that they can reach. It will bring more interest, just like these cars.
It'll stimulate part sales. It's going to stimulate.
Yeah, and it has.
All over again. You know, you guys looking, you know, kind of on the inside, but from the outside looking in, you guys have done so much for motorsports, in my opinion, like with precision turbo cells and pro chargers and this and that, and just help, you know, inject all that into motorsports, because in today's world with the EPA, like, we need people like that are pushing motorsports,
It could
pushing this
easily
hobby.
die.
Yeah.
Like, look at all the tracks around the country that are
It's
closing
scary.
down.
It's super scary.
It
You know,
is.
Thunder Valley just sold, and we don't. I mean, obviously these new owners, I don't know what they're going to be doing with, you know, all that stuff. And that's another topic. But so anyway, tell us about this combo. Obviously, new precision 76 mirror images.
Yep.
And then same 427
It's the same motor. It's the same Texas Speed 427. And then we just added the turbos. The drivability of the turbos, the power on the big end, you know.
I get it.
Of course, there's the staging that always, you know, doesn't really suck. You know, if everything's set up right, turbos can
just bump in,
stage just as easily as anything else.
Now,
you know.
one thing I do notice from when we filmed, you have a condenser core.
Yeah, it's got air conditioner. So we planned from the beginning. One thing that a lot of people don't realize whenever the show comes out is they said, hey guys, we understand you guys have been on the road for 4 months doing NPK. We get a month off. We need you to race these cars. We're going to film this show. So everything had to be thrown together. Like,
and we happened fast.
didn't, I promise you tested more for our show than what we did.
Oh, I bet. Absolutely.
So, you know, and then you just get to learn as you go.
Right.
You know?
Well, not only did they tell us that, they said, but first, Ryan and Shawn, you have to go to Vegas and race your End Game car. So
Yes.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about
So
that.
while all the other guys were testing, we were trying to test those cars and build those cars and finish those cars and then go to Vegas and drive them in 115-degree heat. You know, so honestly, we weren't ready. We tested as much as we possibly could for this, but
Cars are only going to get faster.
yes. So, and that's why the converter, we had such a problem. You know, it was a 4L80 anyway, so there's only a handful of stators that you can get for those.
Pro Torque in it?
It's got a Marty Chance.
Marty Chance.
So it's still got the Rossler, but instead of The 4L80, we put a 400 in it with a gear vendors.
Okay.
We went back from the ladder bar. I got tired of people saying that this was a back half car because it was not.
Right.
Never was. Dom told everybody it was a back half car, and it was not.
I remember watching that on that live feed y'all did.
We're like,
Yeah, no, I was like, dude, I don't think we back half this. And then I thought, man, we could have cut the frame rails, moved them in, and welded them back. And so I got underneath there and looked, and I go, no, we just notched it.
Right.
So we notched the frame, just like you would do on a G body or anything else. And so I had to send pictures to Dom, and he goes, wow, man, I thought that thing was back half. Well, you can't take it back now once you start that rumor.
The whole world.
You know? Yeah, everybody. So anyways, instead, we just went ahead and I got tired. It was a ladder bar. Everybody was like, oh, well, Shawn's car's a ladder bar. You know, I was the staple for you can do this wrong,
right,
and get around the rules. So we went back, we called 10 Soldiers, and we ordered one of their kits. So it's got leaf springs back on it, you know.
Fuel Tech still. I see the Fuel Tech
still.
injectors. Mm-hmm. So last time it seems like we did this, they had precision injectors, or maybe that was Detroit.
This one, yeah, this one did.
So you're needing more fuel.
We needed a lot more fuel. So, and now we have plenty.
And then you got the Aeromotive 10 gallon per minute.
We went from a 5-gallon brushless to a 10-gallon brushless, and Phantom was at the dyno last week with it, and it made almost 1,700.
Yep. And it's got carpet in it now.
Yes.
The interior is much more.
I mean, it had carpet before, but yeah, it's got floor pans in it now because it was all pretty rusted out.
I like the dice.
You know? Man, you know what? Yeah, it does suck. But Jeffrey Lutz bought those for me.
Okay.
He got Jeff some for his 57.
Yeah.
And
that whole family is good people.
They are.
The more I spend time around there, they're really good people.
Yeah, and they'll help you do anything.
Yep,
you know?
absolutely.
So still got to put the door seals on it, but other than that,
this thing start up?
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Let me see. No, hook the battery up. Right now, the problem is otherwise we'd take it down the road. Phantom smoked the alternator on it on the first pull.
Oh, the dyno?
Yep. We'll see how the cold start is.
Yeah,
on this
last
thing.
time I was around this car, last time I rode in this car, I'm pretty sure, Danny, was in the man van. We drag raced him. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, treat the shit out of him.
We'll check out the cold start on this thing. We don't know.
Man, it's so much quieter with the turbos.
I can't believe it fired up that easy.
He spent quite a bit of time.
Got a little exhaust leak over here, a little tick. Sounds really good. Sounds really good. Wow. He had to go and add more power to it. I needed that power. So these electronic gates, I've never messed with them already.
They're amazing.
Are they?
So now that we find, let me spool it up.
Yeah.
Once it warms up, I'll spool it up.
So basically, we've had the electric gates for a couple different cars. For this, for even the NPK car. And we never had a chance to get them to work right. Well, we went to Fuel Tech. Fuel Tech got them all lined out. Hey, and they are.
Those guys seem to be very, very good at what they do. Very good.
He's one of the best in the world, man.
Yeah. It comes up quick.
It come up pretty quick,
Real
doesn't
quick.
It really sucks because this is the car that I want to drive.
Right.
And this is the car that I want to take you out in. And we tried to get an alternator yesterday and it just didn't happen.
So
I
different.
wanted to just let off the button. I got to watch that stuff.
Have you let off the button in it yet?
I have
With the
not.
turbos?
I have not. Like I said, he smoked that alternator, so we've been
that's
waiting
right.
for a replacement and just haven't got one yet.
So the truck that's behind me, obviously you picked up after we filmed the street stuff, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because of some fast trucks that came up from Houston with the midnight performance.
Midnight performance, yes. Those guys they're the staple on these trucks. They're the fastest out there. They're the baddest dudes. As far as everything, building them, building the transmissions, like they're good, and they came up here and those trucks, obviously we can't really talk too much about it, but those trucks came up here and they were impressive.
They're fast.
No doubt.
Fast.
Yes, so we got a little something going on over here right now. We actually have You want to see the Whipple for it?
Absolutely.
So
Now, did Brett end up building the trains for you?
he did.
Okay.
He did. Yeah, Brett LaSalle.
Yep.
Built the transmission. Suncoast built the converter for it.
Okay.
You know, I talked to Brett about it, and he was like, "Man, they're on their game." He was like,
Did it take like a
"Suncoast right
stock
now."
converter and re-stagger
I
it?
believe so. Yeah. I believe so.
I'm going to be learning all the Coyote stuff soon myself.
So this is the 3.8 Whipple for that. I called Whipple. I told them I want to make 1,500, and they said this is the best thing that you're going to get you close to that. And
what you can get, nitrous will make up the difference.
Oh yeah, that's what I told him. I said we'll just spray it on top, you know. He said that this right here will make. I mean, this is the baddest one that they make. This is the ported, the race 3.8. So this one right here on somebody else's car just recently made 1452.
Boost only.
Boost only.
So with the Whipple, is that a 10-speed truck?
It is.
So a 10R with some spray, that's going to be a bad.
Yeah, well, we hope so. But as of right now, so Dave, you know, my buddy trying to pick on me, his wife has a EcoBoost.
Right.
A little Explorer or something. So he's been telling everybody about how he's going to outrun my truck stock to stock whenever his truck isn't stock. Like, he's had all this stuff done to it. I know it'll run mid-11s.
Right.
Phantom goes, so he's got an 1150 ride. You have obviously a 1260 ride. So you're just going over there to let him beat up on you? And I was like, man, you're right. You're right, man. So he's like, hey, before you tear that thing down and put the Whipple on it, we got to race. And he just keeps on telling me this. So we're going to put a little spray of nitrous on it, and we're going to go racing. I'm not going to go over there just to be his whipping boy.
Right.
So I'm going to pull up. I put them inside. If you see this,
completely hidden.
I put them inside the air box. I won't put the air cleaner back on it, which, by the way, doesn't probably need to go back on it anyways. That thing's kind of filthy. Put these in here, and then this ridiculously big, stupid thing right here goes back on here. We put the old shark nozzle right there. I'll run these lines like this right here.
It'll be hidden.
And you're really not going to see it. It'll go just like that right there.
Yep. And maybe wrap some electrical tape.
Yeah. Make it black.
Yeah.
So.
Because what Dave doesn't know won't hurt him.
Yeah. No. So what I'm thinking about doing, I don't know if you've ever ridden or driven or one of these trucks or anything, but there's a sport mode on them.
Yep.
And man, dude, I'm telling you, it makes a huge difference. It's almost like it's stock, and then you put it in sport mode, and then it's fast.
As much as the LS platform is done for motorsports, I think the Coyote is quickly
It's on its way. 100%.
The Coyote it's better in every way, in my opinion, except for the sound.
Oh, dude, they sound terrible.
Yeah.
But put up with your shit.
Yep.
So I'm not a Ford fan.
Yep.
I'm going to throw that out there. I wasn't raised on Fords. My wife has a couple, but I pull with them.
Yeah.
I'm also not a hater.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
You're just an
I
enthusiast.
go with what works.
Yep.
And the Ford trucks pulled better than my Denali, and these trucks right here, the Coyotes, are amazing, and they're fast. I wanted to see what they were all about, so I got one.
I talked to Brett a little bit at World Cup, because Brett's car, it's pretty wild how stock it is.
Yeah.
Car goes 660s at like 215.
Yes.
It's bananas how amazing.
Didn't it make 2,500?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And they stopped.
And
they stopped. Him and Jay stopped because they're like, where do we stop? Like, there's got to be it'll keep making it, but like, at what point does it start?
Exactly.
Blowing the fuck
At
up?
some point, it comes apart.
Yeah.
You know?
So he's fixing to drive that car a couple thousand miles doing sick week.
I didn't know he was doing sick week. That's cool. I'd love to go to that.
Yeah.
It's right down there by him.
We're missing sick week by one day. The day that sick week is over is the day I have to
Australia, right?
be on the plane.
Yeah. Well, I know you guys are gonna be gone, but in May we're gonna be having another King of the Open Road here on Memorial Day weekend.
Will we?
Yeah, Memorial Day weekend we'll be having a King of the Open Road.
As of now.
Yeah, and things change.
Oh yeah.
But we're gonna the King of the Open Road will get you that drag and drive taste, just not a week. I was watching y'all's YouTube channel, so if you guys haven't subscribed, go subscribe to 187 Customs. It's one of my favorite channels to watch. But
it's because we mess everything up.
Well, no,
we
it's 'cause
literally tear everything up,
hide it.
and we don't hide it. We just show everybody so that people at home are like, "That's the same thing that I did." And hey, we mess things up too. We just don't edit it out.
But what I love is you're teaching Aiden and his friends how to work on cars.
Well,
like,
anybody that knows me knows I don't have a whole lot of patience,
Right.
but I feel like as I get older
You got more.
and learning them, you know, and it's amazing because Dalton has it. You know what I mean? Like, not everybody at 16 years old can be like Dalton is.
Right.
Like
seems
that
like a good
boy,
kid.
that boy is what I would assume Monkey was like when he was 16. You know, and then you got Aiden, who is exactly the way that I was when I was 16. When I was 16, man, I didn't care about this. I played baseball, I played football, I tried to get as many girls as I could.
Right.
You know, and that's it. You know, like, I swept my dad's shop up. I wasn't doing none of this stuff. So whenever everybody's like, well, Aiden has his own mechanic who does everything for him. Yeah, no, and he won't deny that either. He'll tell you, oh yeah.
My
you
buddy
know?
got me.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and am I upset about it? No, not really. Do I want them to learn? Yes. But whenever I pull them aside and teach them something, am I focusing more on Dalton? Absolutely. Because Dalton is going to retain all this information and he's going to use this information one day.
Yep. Yeah, it'll help him, you know, maybe make a living. You know, who knows what he's going to do, you know?
Well, Dalton, he is an automotive, you know, and that's what he loves, you know, and we've been racing on the street some with his Falcon. You know, he's got a little Pro-Charged Falcon with an LS in it.
Well, yeah, let's go check out the Fire Donk, the one you built for the End Game show. So this car we can roll around in, right?
Absolutely.
So the last time I rode in a Donk was the blue one, and we went and played golf, and this one may make a few more horsepower.
It does. It does. So when we built this for the End Game, we last time I got oil on the
Top.
but I don't know if there's any. Remember, we had that oil leak. There's still some on that side. I mean, we took a knife to a gunfight. You know, being on this wheel and tire, it was tough.
But
to
what?
hang with those guys,
You took the car that was you. You didn't build a G body or a Fox body. You built what represented.
or not even not build something.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah.
Yeah,
Now I like to give those other guys because we built this thing. You know, like some of the other guys didn't make the cruise. They didn't even try. Me and Ryan's the only two cars that made the cruise on that show.
Really?
Nobody else even. I'll give it to Axeman. Axeman tried. He made it 2 miles and overheated.
Wow.
The other two guys,
Which
they
was
didn't even.
JJ and
JJ
Kai, right?
and Kai. Neither one even tried to make the cruise.
So they built race cars.
Yeah. Kai had his on a Charger in between rounds.
Oh shit.
Had fans out and shit. Hey, but they were fast.
They were.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I should have taken the 55 out there to race those guys.
And
not
it
this.
still would have made the cruise.
Yep. So, you know,
But this has
it
been
was,
kind
it
of
was,
a bucket list build for you, right? You wanted to build
I've
a
wanted,
big wheel car.
and that's the reason I built it. I already had all the parts. So I came into this deal a little bit later than everybody else did. And we had pretty much everything to build this. We just didn't have the time.
Yeah.
So whenever everybody was like, how'd you get parts so quick? Well, I had them all already. So
Because last time we were over here last year filming with doing the TRC video, this was like on the lift. You guys were doing suspension stuff. There was no motor in it. I don't think it was painted. The top wasn't done. Like
yeah,
it
yeah.
came a long way.
It was probably still silver then.
Yeah, really quick.
Burgundy.
I think it was burgundy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't end up using that car.
You didn't?
No.
Okay.
That one was.
That was when they came out of Georgia. Or
That one was
something?
real holy.
Oh,
That thing was real holy.
holy, holy in the wrong way.
Yeah, it was holy in the wrong ways.
So this, I'm guessing, is another 427 Texas speed.
It is. This is pretty much the twin to that motor.
This is the first one.
This is the first one that we got. I bought this one for this car, and then it literally sat in a crate for a year in the shop, knowing that it was going to go in this one. But
And this turbo is off.
this is
old Murder Nova.
off
turbo,
of the Murder
right?
Nova, and it is. Is this a 94 or 98?
This is the 98.
Okay, I thought so. I was fixing to say, I don't think I used the 94.
So single turbo 98 makes as much power as 276s. Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool.
This one only made 1,200 because we stopped
Right.
at 23 pounds of boost.
Because we were blowing through the converter so bad.
What trans is this car? 80? 480?
No, it's a 400.
400?
It's a manual shift Rosler 400. So
But
Such a cool car.
It's cool because there's no shifter in the car. Like
it's
not
all
a-
paddle.
Oh, called.
So, and the thing about it is we really don't even need overdrive in this car. With the tire on the back, it's like a 33.
tall, yeah.
It's like a 33, and then it's got a 389 rear gear in it. We had 360 rear gear in it, but man, it was blowing little 60 plus through the converter
So
with
it
that.
cruises great.
It cruises pretty good, yeah.
So yeah, this is a cool car, and it's got to be heavy. These wheels, like the rotational inertia of these wheels, have to be atrocious.
And I was happy with how we did out there. You know, that shit road in Vegas. Some of the guys with slicks were spinning the tires. You know, and we never spun the tires.
I assume this has traction control.
It does. Yeah. But we got to test, and it was hard on the traction control. And every pass, we made changes. We made changes. When the show started, we started racing other cars on the show. The traction control was there, but we never hit it.
You were never hitting the dots.
Never hit the dots. Those guys were out there, let's just say they were running between 130 60 foot and 150 60 foot. We were running 170s, you know?
Wow,
that's too much to give up.
That's a lot.
You know?
That's a lot to give up. So speaking of like those guys, do you ever foresee those guys coming out to race you guys in the street cars? JJ and Kai and those? Like real street cars?
JJ, no. Who knows about Kai? I don't know.
I read a rumor on one of the fan pages about that, and I was like,
About JJ? I haven't heard anything for sure about it, but I mean, they don't have the Memphis show.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I don't know. I do believe that, what's the one that he does? Fastest in America? It's not a bad show.
Right.
You know what I mean? I haven't watched it a whole lot, but I could see where it would keep going, but I think there's just too many pain in the asses to deal with that.
Yep.
One of them being him.
Too many bad eggs. Yeah.
Right? I mean,
You're not wrong.
you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean,
you know?
he's just, I've only been around him very little, like when we used to film in Okima. And man, he just seems a lot.
He's a lot.
He's a lot.
He's honestly, if the cameras turn off and you talk to him, he's pretty genuine.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he seems
which really
like a humble,
sucks. Which really sucks
country boy
because when the
kinda
camera
guy.
comes on, don't want to be anywhere around him.
Yeah.
But away from the cameras, even his family, like his wife, she's the sweetest girl ever. You know?
Yeah, he's like, you know, East Arkansas, West Tennessee, Memphis area guy. Just kind of grew up probably, you know, a lot like we all did. Kind of like, you know, humble and kind of, I don't know.
Not really. So
yeah, so this obviously fully done interior. I'm guessing it's got a couple kicker subs in the trunk.
it does. It does. Like I had to have some sort of music, you know.
It's got,
My fuel pump wiring, it was just to get it home.
Yeah, like I said, we robbed parts off of this thing. It has been sitting over in the storage where we're going to go here in just a little bit since End Game.
Okay.
And so then I needed the front wheels for the wagon, so we stole them off of it. And then right before Phantom went to the dyno, we needed a fuel pump for that car to take out the 5 gallon per minute and put a 10 gallon in it. So we went over and robbed this one out of it. So it was just sitting over there like a parts car. Man. So the reason that we got this thing going, and so that you could come over today.
okay, well, I appreciate it. You want to, I guess we can probably drive the Donk over there?
Yep, I'm good with that.
And then maybe one of you guys can drive the Lightning so we can race the Typhoon?
Guys, this thing's badass. So I've never been in a Donk before.
Really?
So I would have to take a quick ride in it.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. It shouldn't go as fast as what it does.
Dude, the interior of this thing is sick.
Yeah, it's amazing. I love the red.
Dude, love it, man. This is the cruiser right here.
Oh,
bro.
yeah.
Have you driven this thing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean,
Dude, how does it feel on tires like this?
the traction control works so well in it that you can stick this thing, no burnout, just driving, and
It goes.
catches it and it'll just go. I mean, you can turn traction control off and it'll white smoke them as long as you want, but with it on, man, it just goes. But
Gotta love that new school tech with a little bit of the old school magic, you know?
It's just a fun car to drive. Like, yeah, it's got the potential to make 2,000 horsepower, but just driving the car is fun, man. I love it.
Hell yeah, man. paddle shifter?
Oh yeah, paddle.
Oh dang, what?
Because it's got a manual shift turbo 400 in it.
Okay.
And Shawn didn't want a shifter. And we had a column shift in it, and it was a little sloppy.
Yeah.
So we found this company that makes paddle shifters, and we just
So
adapted
it's like
it.
an air shifted deal?
No, it's all electronic.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. It's got basically it's got its own computer, and it's mounted with the cable coming out of it, and then, you know, just you grab a paddle shifter, just up or down, you know.
That's gangster, bro.
Yeah, it's cool. It's
Hell
cool.
yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, we're gonna go see all the other cars he's got in the storage facility and see what we can get into.
All right, man.
All right.
Keep it under 200.
Yeah. Keep the top on.
Holy shit, I did not expect that. This car shouldn't move that fast. Dude. I have the traction control on, otherwise it'll just smoke the tires.
You can feel it.
Dude, that was wicked. Holy shit.
Oh, dude, you're gonna. Oh, I can feel it.
I'm afraid that it's gonna come off.
Oh yeah, I can feel it. Dude, that is f***ing sick. That is, yeah, that's wild. I've never been that fast in a big ass car like that.
You shouldn't.
No, I mean, that was like probably 130, 140.
140?
Yeah.
I am afraid though that we lost that alternator belt. See it 12.5?
Yeah.
It should be at like 13.4.
Up here at Bingo, you can probably check it, yeah.
Let me get underneath there and do that. That way Phantom can bump it, and if I lose my finger, I won't be upset with you. You know, you won't be upset with me.
How'd this thing feel, Jared?
A car this big, as Shawn said, should not move like that. It's stupid.
It looks stupid fast from the back.
It just picks the front up and just go.
You hear it riding the traction control?
Go ahead, bump it. How you doing?
Okay. Just wanted to come say hi.
Are you good?
Kind of recognize the car, so I was like, yeah, I gotta go.
You want a little custom with a K modification?
Yeah, so there's guys at the track that race these, and going down the track, they've actually
Phantom, bump it one time.
had the top come off at 140 plus.
But still, it's not bad.
So you mean this old school top doesn't want to see 150 miles an hour?
No, man. It's,
These things weren't built to go over 100, right?
no, they definitely were not.
I haven't got there to actually see this thing. I've seen it online. I've seen some SEMA pictures of it, but obviously it's got a front mount.
Yep.
And then, if I remember right, it's diesel powered.
It is. It's
Don't get it wrong.
No, it's a common rail, but
4BT?
I call it, well, depends on who you talk to. If you talk to some Dodge purist, or I'm sorry, Cummins purist, then no, it's a common rail and it has another name. I call it a 4BT.
It's a common rail 4BT at the end of the day. It's all it is.
But somebody is gonna
Correct us in the comment section.
It is a common rail, so they are easier to tune. It's got a, what is it, a 62?
It's a 60-62 precision.
Probably
and,
makes decent power.
It probably makes somewhere around 500 and probably about 800 foot-pounds of torque.
Damn.
So it's pretty torquey. It's really a handful to drive.
I bet. Obviously, it's big and lifted. You typically don't do that to your cars.
This is our first four-wheel
This
drive.
is our first four-wheel drive we ever built, and honestly, man, we still haven't had time to take it out and see what it'll do.
Take a little Sahara and bomb around the dunes or
And
something.
now that we have that place out there, I feel like I could take it and
and have a little bit of fun with
Yeah,
it.
you come home from work one day and Aiden will have it stuck in the pond.
Yep. So I've had lots of people try to buy it, and it's just not something I'm interested in selling right now. You know, one of these days maybe, but definitely not before I have a chance. There's certain things that I want to do to it. I still want to get some sort of management system for it because none of the gauges work. You know, SEMA build, right?
Did full pull build it for you?
Full pull,
built the motor.
studded the motor, and did all of that stuff to it. Yes, the motor actually came out of a
bread truck.
a Frito-Lay bread truck.
Oh,
is
wow.
what it came out of.
Is Monkey still working out there?
He does.
Okay.
So it's got MV 4500 transmissions, so it's 5-speed.
That's out of a Dodge, right?
Well, they're
Things.
in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But
Got Atlas
and then it's got the
transfer case.
Atlas billet transfer case, twin stick transfer case. So it's got all the right parts. Quick performance, front and rear diffs. They're both 9-inch.
20, 15 years ago, whatever, when you got the Murder Nova, it was black. And then everything since then has pretty much been white.
White's my favorite color on a vehicle.
So how did the Murder Nova become black?
It was like flat gray-ish whenever I got it.
So
And
he can tell his story, then I'll tell you why it's flat black.
it was a lot of shiny stuff, and I'm not good at keeping things clean,
Oh, okay.
for one.
He told it.
Oh, okay. So I mean, look, I don't clean things.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, white is very, very forgiving.
Sure.
So the color, you can't tell if you got a dent. You can't tell if it's dirty.
Right.
And black is the total opposite of that.
Yep.
You know, so I took everything that was shiny on the car and made it flat. And, you know, I think I kept it black because we street raced so much. And I've actually passed a cop coasting before, and he never saw me.
You just turn the lights off and
Turned the lights off, and I coasted. The cop ended up passing right by me. I flipped the car off. None of the lights or anything were on. I kept coasting. He went past me, pulled in. It was Climate. It was over at Climate.
Oh, yeah. So back in the day.
Pulled into Climate, and we didn't get in trouble. He made everybody leave, but he never even saw me. But this thing is really fun, and you know, we've got it up to like 80 or so on the highway, and it's just
Sketch.
Yes.
sketchy, man. You know?
It's like driving a big golf cart.
Damn, look. We should open these doors more often.
What's wrong?
Like,
All right, just
seal.
the seal.
Is that Rhino line?
Sort of. It's called Raptor.
Okay.
And we do a lot of stuff in the Raptor. Believe it or not.
nice.
Like under the underside of this, all of this in here
Is all that stuff?
all Raptor. I'm not too worried about scratching this up.
Right.
I really want to take it and do some stuff and just kind of see what it'll do. I understand it's not a rock crawler.
Sure.
I understand it's not a mud truck, but man, it might could be just a little bit of both.
It'd be fun. That's what I love about your collection. It's not just one thing. You've got a little bit of everything. And
There's
it's
still a few more things that I'd like to have, but you
yeah,
know.
what's next on the list? What are the
I-
next 3 cars that you would like to get?
I mean, honestly, because of your ass, I'd really like to have a Supra. You know, your white one is.
He's got a white one?
Yeah.
Huh? You've never seen his? He's got a white.
Why don't you
Supra?
have the white one then?
Because he won't sell it to me.
No,
I'm sure he will, but
Yeah. I built
know.
it for Kim, for my wife. And it's
Okay,
getting-
no, I've seen that then.
it's
I've
the
seen
one that he restored.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a 98, which is the last year. It's going to be like a billet crank, Brian Crowder deal, precision, built stock trans.
It's already too far for me.
Yeah.
You see, I want one that's
Yeah.
just stock.
Yeah.
But man, and also Aiden, your car's been his favorite car forever. For as long as I can
Yeah,
remember.
he's a little ricer.
Yeah, he is. He is. Which I'm cool with. Yeah, I don't care. You know me, man. I ain't a hater on different stuff.
Just like cars.
A 454 SS white truck is obviously
Oh,
the top of my list. That's the one I want. I've got my eye on a couple of them.
So possibly a Supra maybe one day, and then the 454 truck. And
I don't know what else. Like I like everything, man.
you know, back in the day when we'd street race a lot, you had a Fortune F body. Can you ever see yourself getting like a really clean one of those?
Nah, I worked on that one too much.
Yeah.
Those suck to work on. I pulled the motor out of that one 3 times in one day before, and it sucked. I remember the first time I told everybody, "No, I can get this motor out of it without pulling the cradle." We did, but it sucked.
Sucks.
It was
After that, it was cradle.
Because that car was like a auto basic deal with a lot of, I say a lot, but like a 200 shot or something. That car ran hard.
It did. Yeah, it was a good time. We had a lot of fun with it until I bragged to everybody, look, this thing's an LS, man. You ain't got to do nothing to it. And I didn't put no oil in it. and then we spun a few bearings, and it was never the same after that.
So obviously, pretty familiar with this platform, Typhoon size clone stuff we talked about earlier. Really cool. Early 90s, it was like the first sport truck, you know? I mean, to my knowledge, am I wrong?
Yeah, 100%. It was the first SUV sport SUV.
And the Cyclone was the first truck. And like, so, you know, like we said earlier, same drivetrain, 4.3 turbo, and you've had this for a year or so, but you really haven't put any miles on it.
No, I haven't had time, man. We've been running around the country so much, and I got a lot of cool cars. So
Need some time off to drive them.
That's the problem. And then whenever I do get some time off, it's which one do I drive? You know what I mean? And this one, yeah, it hurts them not to drive them, but this one isn't doing anything but going up.
Oh,
so
for sure.
It's not going to hurt me to not drive this one.
Now, I know the Cyclones have like a flat black cladding. Did these come factory matched from the factory?
Yes,
they did. Okay.
They got different colors too. Like there's
green,
white with gray.
Yep.
There's even the white ones though. The cladding would they got some with gray. They've got green with gray cladding, and
it's crazy how expensive just the cladding is on these trucks.
And hard to find.
Holy hell, like crazy hard to find. Yeah. So yeah, for those that don't know, these are all-wheel drive, turbocharged, 4.3 liter Vortec with a 700 R4. 0 to 60, I think the old advertisement's like 5 seconds in the rain or whatever it was in the magazine. It was.
I believe it'll do it in the rain.
Yeah.
Like I stuck this. Was it this one that was kind of? Yeah. You brought it home. Like I didn't even go get this one. Phantom drove up. He went and got it. He brought it home, and it was so foggy that it was just damn near raining. And I, of course, I had to take it out that night as soon as he got it home. And I was like, man, it's already kind of dirty from the trip. I'm gonna take it out. And yeah, that's why I said it was so slow.
Yeah. So I brought, in the 90s, I also had other sport trucks like the Lightning. I brought my Lightning today.
It's what year is that?
It's a 99 or 2000. I can't remember obviously what year it is, but it's stock. It's got an air filter and a Bassani catback. 200,000 miles on it. So it should be, I'm kind of anxious. You're going to kill me out of the hole. That all-wheel drive is going to
I don't think that this thing needs all-wheel drive though to not spin.
That's true.
At this point, I feel like the all-wheel drive is just taken away from the little bit of power that it makes.
For sure. And these probably weigh what, 4,500 pounds?
Oh, dude, I have no idea. Like I couldn't even guess.
They're heavy. Yeah, it'd be really neat. You kind of see the two iconic Ford versus GM. Two sport trucks.
And yours is the second gen.
Second gen, so it's supercharged.
It has supercharger.
Jared, you lucked out.
Why is that?
I put 91 in this last night. You're welcome.
Yeah, I topped it off.
He's only got 87.
87 right here.
Oh, that's okay.
I need some more octane.
Oh yeah, but you know what? We got.
All right, don't blow it up before the race.
It's all right.
So what do we got here?
This is my Lightning. I picked it for my son, who's only 7, that we're going to be building. It's going to get a Coyote swap and all the goodies, but right now it's a 200,000 mile, from all I know, all original motor with a hurt head gasket. We literally put barge leak in it like a week ago to keep it from leaking water, with a cold air intake and a catback. And I think Shawn's has a cold air intake, and that's it. So it'll be, I don't know.
Stock for stock.
Stock for stock. It'll be
blown up and unknown.
Yeah, I mean, they're both old and probably tired, so it's just a cool race.
So this is a quiet neighborhood. Keep all this shit down.
Predictions, what do you think, brother?
I've never rode in one of those. I don't know. I just know how slow this is. Like, I've always wanted a Lightning, but like I've said in the past, I've never really been much of a Ford guy, but their Lightnings are cool, But I've also owned some Mustangs before, so it's tough not to say I'm not a Ford guy. But I just know how slow this one is. If this thing, I'll tell you this, if this thing outruns that thing's a slow piece of shit.
There we go. Oh.
64,539.
This thing's brand new.
It's brand new. Hey, my window works a little bit better than
it
yours.
does, yeah. The right one's tired.
Might shake just a little bit too, huh?
The right one's tired.
We need to warm this thing up enough to at least get the flat spots out of the tires.
There you go.
I mean, that's about it, man.
That's about it. It's a good thing we're dig racing.
Yeah.
Because from first, it felt good.
It felt a little bit better than that, didn't it?
This brings me back to high school.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do. Dig race or a 10 roll. One of those. We got it.
You can hear though. Shit. Does that say 16 pounds? I can't really tell. It looked like it was up there. Is his truck always smoke like that? Or is he losing something? Has it got a blown head gasket?
Yeah.
Damn. Well, I don't want to be on this side. He's literally blowing water out everywhere.
Oh my god.
Does the exhaust come out that way?
It no, go straight back. Straight back up.
Huh. I don't know what that was that I saw there.
Probably the head gasket.
You hear the little shoo a little bit.
Love that little Terpsky sound.
Just like you said though, hey, early wasn't bad, and then he started to get me in the top end.
I think he's lying. I think he's got a pulley on it. You got a pulley on that thing, bro?
Hey, you can hear that blower just whining over there.
You got a smaller pulley on that thing, dude?
We're gonna have to go from a dig to go about 200 feet.
No, I think we gotta try from a dig.
So you want to do it on this highway? What? You want to try to do it here? Yeah.
You guys can I think we just wait for no traffic and then.
Yeah, and then we're just gonna pull out.
I'm gonna let you like fucking count.
I'll count. Yeah.
So I'm gonna go on one.
And then so you just go on my one. So after that, we should try like a low roll, like 10 roll or something.
Yeah, because when me and Romeo hit on that side road, when you did, I spun. So you're gonna me up, and I may have enough mile an hour to catch it.
Oh yeah, the mile an hour, man, you just start rolling.
Dude, these things are cool.
Dude, that Charger's screaming.
When we first,
Screaming, eating, baby.
When we first hit it, I went, oh shit, that thing's slow too. Hell yeah.
All right, let's do this.
1, 2, 3.
Right there.
Right to the speed limit, baby.
That was cool.
We got out just a little bit.
Huh?
We got out just a little bit.
I don't know, man. Maybe a bumper.
Got it off.
It doesn't matter.
That was the closest one. But then I think that thing's got about 3 or 4 mile an hour on us.
Well, it was weird right there. I think I was a little bit slower that time because I didn't spool it up or anything like I did. You know, I was on the converter pretty hard.
Right.
So obviously today was awesome, but I don't think it ended up the way either one of us thought. We got that epic race with the 2 90s legends, the Lightning and the Typhoon.
Yeah.
It was like going from like rabbits to turtles.
That's right. That's right.
But it was so fun, and thank you again for coming out. And you know, everybody watching this at home, Shawn and Danny and his son, they have such a good YouTube channel. It's 187 Customs. You know, TRC has a huge fan base. Be sure to go ahead, click subscribe, hit like all their videos, because they make some of the most genuine content that I've seen out there. Their videos, you know, maybe an hour long sometimes. It's just them literally talking and explaining things to their kids, which to me,
tearing stuff up.
Or tearing stuff up.
You know, like we don't, that's why most of our videos are that long. Like we don't edit a whole lot.
Yep.
We have nothing to hide. I've said it in the past, our lives are an open book.
Yep.
And we've got nothing to hide. Do we tear things up? Absolutely. Are we dumb? Yes. Do we not know everything? Absolutely. You know?
That's how you learn.
Yeah.
Make mistakes along the way and makes you better along down the road, you know?
Yep.
So anyway, thank you again for having us, and thank you again for having me and my team on Street Outlaws this season.
Anytime.
Anyway, thank you again, sir. Appreciate
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
Great
Go
time.
hit subscribe. It's a badass channel.
Thanks, guys.